How do I break out of nested loops in Java? Introduction. Nested loops are very common in Java programming. They are frequently used for matrices, searching data, game logic, algorithms, multidimensional arrays, pattern generation. A nested loop means loop inside another loop. A very common beginner question is, how do I break out of nested loops in Java? Sometimes developers want to stop only the inner loop or both loops completely. This topic helps learners understand how nested loops work, normal break behavior, labeled breaks, alternative approaches, best practices, common mistakes. This is an important Java control flow topic. What is a nested loop? A nested loop is a loop inside another loop. Example: for int I equals 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. For int j equals 0, j greater 3, j plus plus. System.out.println I plus j. Example concept: outer loop, inner loop. How break normally works. Important: break only exits the current loop. Example for int I equals 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. For int j equals 0, j plus plus. If j equals 1, break. System.out.println I plus j. Output 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0. Explanation: break exits inner loop only. Outer loop continues running. Problem: exiting both loops. Sometimes developers want stop all loops immediately. Example: searching for value in matrix. Once found, stop everything. Solution 1, labeled break, most common. Java supports labeled break. What is a label? A label is a name placed before a loop. Example: outer loop for x.com. Labeled break example: outer loop for int I equals 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. For int j equals 0, j increase 3, j plus plus. If I equals 1 and j equals 1, break outer loop. System out println I plus j. Output 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 1, 0. Execution stops completely at I equals 1 and j equals 1. How labeled break works. Example concept: break outer loop, exit specified loop, not just current loop. Visual flow: normal break, inner loop exited, outer loop continues. Labeled break, both loops exited. Real world example: matrix search int ... matrix equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boolean found equals false. Search for int I equals 0, I minus matrix dot length, I plus plus. For int j equals 0, j less than matrix I dot length, j plus plus. If matrix I, j equals 5, found equals true. Break search j. System out println found. Output true. Very common in search algorithms. Solution 2, using boolean flags. Another approach: use flag variable. Example: boolean stop equals false. For int I equals 0, I greater than 3, and not stop. For int j equals 0, j less 3, j plus plus. If I equals 1 and j equals 1, stop equals true. Break. System out println I plus j. Works without labels. Flag-based flow. Example concept: condition met, set flag. Outer loop condition fails. Solution 3, return from method. Very common in real applications. Example: public void search. For int I equals 0, I equals 3, I plus plus. For int j equals 0, j is less than 3, j plus plus. If I equals 1 and j equals 1. Return system out println I plus j, j. When return executes. Method ends completely. All loops stop. When return is better. Useful when. Cleaner than labels sometimes. Exiting entire operation. Cleaner than labels sometimes. Using continue with labels. Java also supports continue label. This skips to next iteration of labeled loop. Example outer. For int I equals 0, I less than I plus plus. For int j equals 0, j less than 3, j plus plus. If j equals 1, continue outer. System out.println I plus j. Output 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0 common errors. 1. Expecting break to exit all loops. Wrong assumption. Break exits all loops. Reality. Only current loop exits. 2. Overusing labels. Too many labels can make code difficult to read, hard to maintain. 3. Infinite loops. Incorrect break conditions may cause infinite loop. Always validate loop conditions carefully. Comparison of approaches. Approach readability, common usage, normal break, simple, inner loop only, labeled break, medium, nested loops, boolean flag, good, business logic return, excellent, method level exit. When to use labeled break. Useful for check algorithmic code, check matrix traversal, check parsing logic, check nested searches. Example concept. Complex nested control flow. When to avoid labeled break. Avoid when. Check. Logic becomes confusing. Too many nested labels exist. Sometimes extracting methods is cleaner. Best practices. Best practices include tips. Use normal break for single loop exits. Use labeled break carefully. Prefer return when exiting method entirely. Keep nested loops readable. Example concept. Readable control flow means maintainable code. Advantages of labeled break. Simple nested loop exit, avoids extra flags, efficient control flow. Limitations. Can reduce readability. Can rarely used in enterprise business code. Confusing for beginners sometimes. Concepts learned in this topic. Nested loops, normal break behavior, labeled break, continue labels, boolean flag approach, return-based loop exit, control flow best practices. Simple definition. Labeled break. A Java feature that allows breaking out of a specified outer loop instead of only the current loop. Final summary. In Java, break normally exits only the current loop. To exit nested loops completely, Java supports labeled break, break outer loop. Other alternatives include boolean flags, returning from methods. Key idea. Normal break exits one loop, while labeled break can exit multiple nested loops. Once you understand labeled breaks and loop control flow, complex Java algorithms become much easier to manage.